Hi, today we're going to tackle cultural awareness and varieties of English for Europe. The first topic we're going to talk about would be the languages used in Europe. There are over 200 native languages in Europe, and they can be put into three categories. The first one would be Germanic, which consists of English and German. This is the language used by the largest native group, with 20% of Europeans speaking a Germanic language. The next one would be Romance, which consists of Italian, French, and Spanish. These languages come from Latin, the language of the Roman Empire, hence the name Romance. And finally, we have Slavic, used mostly in Northern and Eastern European countries, including Russia. It is written in the Cyrillic alphabet. Here are some useful facts for you to know. The European Union recognizes 23 official languages in Europe. Due to the language diversity, European school children usually learn 1 to 2 languages. Over 1.5 million Europeans speak English because it is often a choice for their second language. The next thing we're going to be talking about would be verbal communication practices in Europe. In Eastern Europe, there is a variety of languages and language groups as well as 2 alphabets, the Latin and the Cyrillic scripts. Eastern Europe is composed of many different ethnic and religious communities too. In this way, it is impossible to define a common Eastern European cultural model. In terms of geography, culture, and communication modes, at least 3 basic cultural communities can be outlined: Northeastern European, Central European, and Southeastern European. However, despite the big differences between the countries, there are some common discourses due to the fact that all the Eastern European nations are post-communist societies. The first discourse is focused on the social and cultural trauma experienced in the period of socialism and often triggers hate speech. The second is based on nostalgia about the good things in the era of communism. And the third discourse is underlined by the constant questioning of who we are. Based on a 15-country study in Western Europe, the study examines management and communication styles through a wide-ranging interview schedule. In the context of national and business cultures, it explores the dimensions of communications, beliefs, and practices, and draws out their interrelationships with managerial style. Conclusions indicate some unexpected cultural clusters and point to future research directions. Now here are some nonverbal communication practices in Europe. The first one would be a thumbs up. Many people in the US and the UK use the thumbs up sign as a positive yes. However, in Sardinia and Greece, it is as bad as holding up the middle finger. The fingertips kiss is used in various European countries such as Italy, France, and Spain. It is a positive gesture that means something is delicious or wonderful and is most often used to describe the taste of food. The eyelid pull is common in France, Italy, Spain, and Greece. However, in France and Greece, the signal is more of a warning in order to highlight that they are watching you or keeping an eye on you, whereas in Spain and Italy, it is considered a friendlier warning that someone is clever or aware. In most European countries, a head nod signals a nod in agreement with something. However, in some parts of Eastern Europe such as Greece, Bulgaria, and Turkey, it means the opposite. And finally, the OK sign is common throughout North America and the UK, and is usually considered one of the positive European hand gestures. However, in France, this means zero, nothing or worthless, and is also insulting in Greece, Italy, and Turkey. Personal space. In much of Southern Europe, as well as in Spain, people are very affectionate, even with strangers. Conversations happen at a close distance, and if you take a step back in Spain, it is considered rude. People will often interrupt, but this is not considered rude. Touching. Northern European countries are classified as non-contact cultures. By comparison, in the high-contact cultures of Southern Europe, physical touch is a big part of socializing. Handshake. In parts of Northern Europe, a quick firm handshake is the norm. In parts of Southern Europe, a handshake is longer and warmer, with the left hand usually touching the clasped hands or elbow. Beware that in Turkey, a firm handshake is considered rude and aggressive. Handshake. Here are some distinctions and nuances to remember. Many European countries, which are low context cultures, value the aspects of communication wherein effective communication is necessary and there is a purpose for every conversation. On the other hand, high context cultures such as Asian and Arabic countries disseminate information in order to see the value of communication. The topic we're now going to tackle would be the variety of English in Europe. Vocabulary is divided into two: Standard English and Euro English. Standard English is considered to be tourist, while Euro English is considered to be touristic. And the difference is, touristic is not commonly used to describe places catering to tourism, unlike its cognates in other European languages. Now here are some examples for you to understand better. For Standard English, please enter your PIN code below. For Euro English, please introduce your PIN code below. Another would be in Standard English, what is it called? What do you call it? For Euro English, how is it called? How do you call it? Another for Standard English would be, last October I had the opportunity to attend a workshop. And in Euro English, last October I had the possibility to attend a workshop. And for the last example, Standard English is in, we are offering a challenging position in our unit. And for Euro English, we propose a challenging position in our unit. The final lesson we're going to learn today will be the nature of communication of engineers. Here are some facts about greetings. Throughout Europe, business greetings are standard. Italians shake hands often. Germans may bow slightly. In France, a lighter grasp is customary. In Austria, a two-cheek kiss after a working relationship is established. Now here are some for dining and entertaining. The European host will always make the first toast. You must reply with a toast of thanks at the end of the meal. And talking business over lunch is not a violation of etiquette in France, Austria, Germany, UK, Netherlands, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Portugal, Spain, Czech Republic, Italy, and Greece. But however, do not talk business over lunch unless the host initiates. Dinner in Europe is usually reserved for social entertaining. You must be on time for dinner in Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Denmark. Elsewhere, being fashionably late is acceptable. Do not take wine to a dinner in the Netherlands, France, and Belgium. Here are some things to mind during business meetings. They are generally more relaxed, introductions are never neglected, meetings often start with a joke or a brain teaser puzzle, and meetings are seldom scheduled before 10 a.m. or after 3 p.m. Europeans are expected not to bury themselves in their digital devices or mobile phones. Europeans demonstrate interest and attentiveness to the person speaking with their body language and by asking relevant questions. Be punctual and use your time wisely. Be on schedule in Scandinavia, Germany, and Austria. Be early in the UK. Italians and Spaniards are more relaxed. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you've learned a thing or two. Once again, we're Group 5 presenting Europe.